Hi, my name is Jacob Alonso, and I'm gonna be showing you my Raspberry Pi project that I've got so far. So, I'm on a different system on here. This is my main computer, so I'll show you this in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the Raspberry Pi itself. Just over here, set up on my television because this is the only output device that would actually work. My monitors didn't work for some reason. They wouldn't take the adapter. So something wrong with my Raspberry Pi. Here it is. It only outputs video if I touch it in this specific spot. If not, it glitches out. So I apologize if it's a little close, but it's kind of what I have to work with. Anyway, here's the Raspberry Pi. It's functional. It has internet access, but again, I have to hold my thumb in that specific spot. I'm feeding Ethernet through it, so it has network access. Plugged into the USBs is my mouse and keyboard, and I'm using a micro HDMI adapter, and it's plugged in. The USB-C right there on the far left. So there's that. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this video so I can show you that it does have network activity. Alrighty. As you can see here, it does have network activity. I'm showing you the Apache 2 default page because I had created a network with PHP and myadmin. I'll go ahead and show you the myadmin in a second. I'm just showing you that I do have network access and that it's functioning properly. So let me go ahead and type in that myadmin PHP URL. Alrighty, here we are. So as you can see there, the username I used, or the admin name I used, is user1, and the password is just password but spelled differently with different characters and such. But there's the URL, Raspberry Pi /php admin /index php. That's what I named it in the terminal. Here I added the MySQL and then the PHP admin. Basically just a simple server or website base that I followed a guide that I had found, and I researched how to do it exactly, so I got that working and running. As you can see, everything's on, network is connected, everything's still running on the Raspberry Pi, so I'm not cheating it or anything. But yeah, there it is. Alrighty, back at my desk. It's a different computer, different area. I had the Raspberry Pi Apache 2 open because I was going to show the Win. Sorry for that cut. I was going to show you the Win SCP connecting to the Raspberry Pi. However, I have been having some trouble with it, mainly because my system, this system here, it does not. It keeps refusing the packets and whatnot from the Raspberry Pi. So it is reading. I've put in the right host name and password and username for the Raspberry Pi and this computer. However, it just refuses. As you can see, this is my computer. Jacob's main PC refused to connect to the Raspberry Pi, and it's gonna keep trying over and over. I haven't figured out why that is, but I have done that. I set it up. I set up SSH on the Raspberry Pi as well. However, it's still not working, even though I am on the same network, except I'm not wired. I am using Wi-Fi on this machine, and the Raspberry Pi is connected via Ethernet. But yeah, that's what I mostly have. I did have BusyBox installed, which I assume I can show you now if you give me 1 second. Alrighty, so I'm back at the Raspberry Pi. Again, I have to have my thumb there for whatever reason that my Raspberry Pi is finicky with. With BusyBox, I'm going to be opening a HTTP static page that will read out, I believe it's hello world. If not, it was a test script that I had written. But it's that. I'm going to go ahead and press enter. Alright, I've entered it, and now we're going to go see if it's loaded back into the from port 90 or 8090 that I set it to. And here it is. It's the hello world over and over. It's the same IP address as the Raspberry Pi, as that I set it to port 8090, so I can confirm that it was the same port and that it was the same Raspberry Pi, not just some other maybe created on here, if that's what it would be believed as. But yes, built this through BusyBox, not hard. Just use a different port number because port 80 would deny me, so I just use a different one. But yes, that's the way I bypassed it. Besides the WinSCP, that is, I believe I did everything that I was supposed to do. But yes, that is my Raspberry Pi project, if you will. It functions. It has connectivity. I've created that server with my admin, my PHP admin, and BusyBox, and Apache 2. The only thing is WinSCP didn't function the way I hoped. It runs, it just, my computer denies it for whatever reason. So, but yes, thank you. I'm Jacob Alonso again, and thank you for your time.